Hello, my name is Jason and this is the third episode of VFX of Call Night Moon series. Call Night Moon is a music video that I'm editing right now. And I want to share my thoughts on editing with you by making those tutorials. For those who lost my previous episode about making a cloning effect, you can watch it here. Okay, deal. This episode a little off topic. I'm gonna talk about color correction. When the director makes a movie, he can probably use more than one camera, light settings or colors and something that may look like one piece. So the editing person may color correct the pieces to make as close as possible so they would look as that were made in one camera. Or it could be used to stylize the footage to make the unique look of the picture. Today we're gonna see 3 possible ways of making a color correction in Blender. I will give you some cute footage to color correct in the end of this video. Be the first to share me your versions on Facebook or email. I'm gonna put the best versions in the end episode. I uploaded a picture into the sequence that we will test on it. In the settings on the right, you can see at the bottom the modifiers. It's like the modifiers in 3D viewport, but those mostly for color correction. The mask modifier. This one is not for color correction, but I'm using this a lot in previous episodes to create cloning effect. The brightness and contrast modifier. This one is obviously controls the brightness and the contrast. Brightness is when picture is getting brighter or darker, and the contrast is about how close the dark gonna be to bright. How much gray gonna be in between. More contrast, less gray. The hue correct modifier. This controls the hue saturation or value of the picture depends on particular color. For example, I need more saturated red or brighter blue, or to get all the green to look like blue. Curves modifier. For those who are familiar with curves will understand the importance of them. It's a powerful tool that controls the brightness and contrast with more flexibility and separated by color channels. It can get, for example, brighter red or contrasted blue. Color balance modifier. This one is about color correction reality. You have 3 color wheels that gonna adjust the colors on bright, middle and dark areas separately. For those who want to create a color correction for a whole sequence, there's another less powerful but pretty useful option called color management. It's useful for any built-in render that saves image or video files, no matter if it's sequence, cycles or Blender internal. You can find it in the properties window and the scene settings. I don't really know what all those options mean, but I'm not afraid to play with the settings until I see the effect I like. The first setting is mostly technical, how to input the colors into the view, I guess. Then goes the view settings, changing the look of the picture entirely. In this case I like to use film setting, but other people could prefer raw or any other kind of stuff. The difference is the dynamic range, the amount of brightness available. In the raw settings, the darkness color will be much darker than black and brightness will be much brighter than white. Huge dynamic range. On the other side, film makes the dynamic range smaller. But from my own experience, it's much easier to make realistic renders using it. Then you have a basic settings of exposure, that means brightness, and gamma, that means dynamic range. Then you can also enable curves to make similar effect than the curves in the modifiers. In the compositor you have all those settings and many more, with more options, but the compositor is too slow. You may sometimes wait 50 minutes of rendering of one video to realize that you were wrong in some settings, when if you do it in sequencer you will have the preview in real time. Here's the example of comparing 2 shots in Call Night Moon. You can see that those pictures are not correct in the colors. So we're gonna add a new hue correct modifier and copy paste the settings from the hue correct of the other shot that I already color corrected. I do it by putting the mouse at the setting and without clicking on anything, just pressing Ctrl+C to copy and Ctrl+V later to paste. Now the shot is getting closer, but still it's too yellow, so I'm gonna add a color balance modifier and slightly play with the colors. During the time of the editing, it only depends on the time a producer gives to the editor. Editor play with the settings all the time, correcting and correcting the colors by playing with them over and over again. Send your tests of the color corrections on my Facebook and email. Be one that win the place in the last episode. I will give the footages for this in few seconds. Go check out the episodes of VFX of Cold Night Moon, and thank you very much for watching.